Hi, this is Dr. Bixler here to talk to you about computer science. Just some quick background. This is my 15th year at Mates. I work another job doing computer science. My title is lead software systems engineer, I believe. So I kind of do this stuff every day. In the course, we use a mix of Java and Python. So we use the Java programming language for about the first 3 months, maybe through between Thanksgiving and the holidays. And at that point, we switch over to Python. It sort of gives them a flavor of the best of both worlds, I would say, as far as two languages that would be very useful for them in college and beyond. We have no text book for the course. The reason for that is there's just so many online resources and things like that that we do have a classroom set of some books that we use from time to time, but generally I just use a couple pages from it, scan that, post it, and that's adequate. Um, as far as where we start, so we just got to programming today. The last week or so, we've been working from the history of computing, conversions between like binary, octal, hex, and things that computers use, computer architecture, and networking. We don't go super deep into any of that, but it's all sort of important fundamentals to understand the big picture of what they're working on in this course. We talk about the different languages that are out there and the popularity and how that's evolved over time. We talked briefly about how modems work and things along those lines. Just stuff I don't think they really appreciate and probably haven't touched upon elsewhere. Lectures are based off of PowerPoints. I'm not a huge PowerPoint fan, generally speaking. It can get a little dull, but the reason I use that is that we use quite a few new concepts in the course. And so with the presentation, I can sort of talk them through, the main concepts, and then we sort of follow that up and work with the code and do some examples and things like that. So they each have a copy of the slides, and so they can take notes in there, study for exams, and things along those lines. We start class a couple times a week with tech articles. The reason I like that is it sort of gives them sort of the big picture of the industry. So it's great to be able to code, but you also need to understand, trends in computing and, all that kind of stuff. We even talk about tangentially related things such as like SpaceX and what they're working on, because naturally they have a lot of programmers as well. Um, Online assessments, we do mostly online assessments. Today we took a test sort of on paper, the number conversions, but they're usually self-scoring for the conceptual stuff. Most chapters also have a coding part. So once they finish the online part, I'll give them an assignment to work on. They will submit the code and I'll grade that. Some of the online resources that we use, there's some websites called Coding Bat that's written by a Stanford professor for his intro to comp sci class, and he graciously shares that with the world. So that's been wonderful. Structurally, it's pretty similar to Rutgers Comp Sci 111 course. So when we first developed this, we looked pretty closely at that course, just to guide us in the right direction. And we cover most of the AP curriculum. So I just have a quick and small criticism of that curriculum. It focuses only on one language, only on Java, and that is not the best tool for everything in programming. And so I thought rather than go as deep in Java, we would focus on just kind of showing them some other things that are out there. And so when they get to college and beyond, they can choose the appropriate tool for what they're working on. And we finished the course with a final project, be about 2 weeks long. And that really lets them kind of explore something they're interested in. So I don't give them a data set to work with. They have to design research questions, find a good data set, clean it up, write code, generate visualizations to answer those research questions, and put that into a presentation and show that before the class. So I think that's a good kind of send off to them, and it's gone quite well in past years. So that about ends it. If you need to contact me, my email is mbixler@mail.ocvts.org. And thanks for listening.